This is my literacy autobiography, and it is by me, Bradi Necessary. So the very first experience that I really had with literacy that I hardly remember, but there is lots of pictures, it was with my papa. He would sit in his blue reclining chair and hold me and read books with me while I played with his hair, put ponytails in it. He was also the only person who could ever get me to calm down when I was a little kid. It is good to read aloud to children like this when they are younger because it does motivate them and it helps them cope with any stress or anxiety they're dealing with. So in my childhood, my favorite chapter books were Junie B. Jones books. I read every single one of them. I do remember reading the Berenstain Bears, and because of Winn-Dixie, I watched that movie on repeat, and I also had the book that goes along with it. So those are a few books that I remember reading when I was younger. So at the elementary level, I remember going to the library and always wanting to read the Goosebumps books. Charlotte's Web was also a good one. I do remember watching Charlotte's Web during class, like the movie. And I think that I remember reading this as a class. So we didn't read Charlotte's Web by ourselves, we read it as a class. So that was a good literacy experience for everyone in that class. And then we had Dr. Seuss books. I know everyone knows of Dr. Seuss. We did green eggs and ham, and we actually did an activity with the green eggs and ham. We made green eggs and ham while we were doing Dr. Seuss week at school. So during the middle school level, my favorite books that I read was during a 5th grade class. I don't know if any of y'all have heard of them, but it's The City of Ember. I think there's like 4 books that go along with the first book. And this was my favorite series, I think, of all time that I've ever read. I really enjoyed my reading class in 5th grade, and she just really helped boost our attitude about literacy and reading because she was just a great teacher. And another book that I read in middle school was Holes and Bridge to Terabithia. I loved Bridge to Terabithia. I have the movie. I also watched that on repeat all the time. So during the high school level, it's where my reading kind of went downhill, I would say, just because some of the books that we read were boring to me. Like, I don't know, we didn't really get a lot of time to read on our own. So the teachers pushed us to read these books that they gave us instead of letting us experience literacy and choosing our own books to read. So we did read How to Kill a Mockingbird we had to read that one by ourselves, and we would take quizzes like every week or tests in class about it. And The Great Gatsby, that one was okay because we actually got assigned characters and we read from a play. So that one was kind of fun to read, even though it was a little challenging. But sometimes it's good to challenge your students when you are teaching literacy. And then Spark Notes was also a great thing to look at in high school because it helped you get through some of those, like The Great Gatsby had difficult language sometimes, but Spark Notes helped get the language clearly towards me so I could understand. And during the college level, in my short story classes and English classes, the Norton Introduction to Literature was a big book that we used to read short stories and to do assignments over. I do remember doing a Facebook page over one of the stories in here. We had to find a character that we thought was interesting and create a Facebook profile about them, and that was something good that the professor did because it showed how you can make literacy more fun. And then with Shakespeare, textbooks, lots of textbooks when it comes to college. And I did have a little time to read in college on my own, like outside of school, and I think that really helped get me back into literacy. Here's just Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, and The Hunger Games were a couple of the books that I have read, and I thought they were very interesting, and I just enjoyed reading them. Thank you.